Hi there, it's Paula Ritchie, and we're going to be heading into a power hour shortly. So get yourself ready, and of course, as always, do what works for you. If I offer something that just doesn't seem to be jiving with you either at this moment or always, then just leave it aside and come up with something. You're intuitive enough to come up with something that'll also work that area, and hopefully, I'll give you a couple of clues as well. Usually, I do. Anyhow, give me a minute or two and we'll get started shortly. Okay, so it's 1 hour power. The first song is Warm Hope. Let's get started. 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can press start. And just we'll take a moment just to settle in. Notice as you come into a seated position, if it feels okay to close your eyes, as you close your eyes, feel yourself readjust to sit up nice and tall. So you want to feel the sits bones and tailbone connecting to the earth or to whatever you're sitting on. And from that three-prong plug, we root down and feel the side body lengthen up, right up and out through the crown of the head. And be mindful of where your hips are in space. If you feel as if the hips are starting to fold forward towards the tops of the thighs, roll them back. So get that sacrum nice and perpendicular as well. And feel the collarbones widen, let the crown of the head lengthen up. And here, as we settle in, we'll take a few more breaths just to find our baseline. And notice literally after like a few breaths of focused, concentrated awareness, how we shift. And here, as we shift more inward, notice your energy level. Notice if there's any areas in your body that are calling out for a little either extra attention with just easefulness or with, you know what, I really want to, want to build up this area is like ready to go. And then lastly, taking those big deep breaths, we're going to transition into Ujjayi breathing. So we'll feel the breath moving into the back of the throat and out through the back of the throat. And you'll hear that breath moving in and out a little bit more. You'll hear it, you'll feel it. And try to stay with this awareness of breath through the practice. All right, so we're going to start to lift our legs up. So if you're seated on something, just release that to the side now. We're just going to draw our legs up, pull in, we'll lift our heels up. And just pull the heels away from each other as the heart lifts up. And hug the knees in towards the belly. And feel as if like there's something in the middle that the belly button is trying to roll itself up the thighs, up off the knees and up towards the sky. Keep squeezing the knees together, or the ankles together, and if it feels okay, reach the arms forward. And nice and slowly, we're going to snap our feet. We're going to open up our legs and then cross them the other way. Place them back down. Sit up nice and tall. We'll take our right hand towards our left knee and just a nice little twist, feeling the both sit bones connect into the floor and a lengthening up through the crown of the head as we spiral around to the back. You can look over your back shoulder. See if you can move a little bit into that back side because that's where we're heading next. Feel the breath there as you lift the ears back behind you. We'll look over the front shoulder, nice big twist here through the chest. Still lengthening up, still feeling the sits bones and the crown of the head lengthening away. One more breath into the belly. And then pressing down to the floor, we'll stretch the arms up. Reach up and then spin, taking the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind you, sitting up tall, finding that nice straight line again as you spin yourself up and around as opposed to back towards that back hand and then around. And you can start to bring your chin over that right shoulder, feeling the left shoulder, left collarbone widen forward. Breathing, lengthening up a little bit more. Start to take our chin, bring it over the front shoulder. Notice the switch from the back side of the body more to the front. And then again, pressing down to the floor. We'll stretch the arms back up. And as we exhale, actually, let's add this one more time. We'll hug those knees in, we'll squeeze the legs up. And you can release the hands here if you want, keep that heart lifted. If it feels okay, you can stretch the legs straight. But if it just play with your back a little bit, bring them back in. Snap the hands, plant the feet to the floor, and just roll yourself up. And we'll come into a forward fold, let the back of the neck be long. Your hands can be on blocks as we just press into the left leg and stretch the right outer hip up towards the sky. Press down to the big toe mound, feel that IT stretch. Bend both knees again, folding over the legs. Let the belly rest on the thighs. And then pressing again into the second side. So right foot presses down, left foot presses down, left hip lifts up. Big toe mound of that left foot presses down. Rest of the body is relaxed. Beautiful, bend both knees again, we'll fold over the legs. We'll inhale, we'll roll ourselves up to standing. Press down, lift the arms up over your head, stretch. And we'll bring our hands right back down to our hearts. Beautiful, heart out into the hands as you inhale. Release the hands, keep that heart lifted as you exhale. You may want to have some blocks at the front of your mat as we move into some of the more challenging things later on. But for now, let's just move through some simple sun A's. So lift your arms up over your head as you inhale and exhale, fold forward. Hands to the shins, lengthen, flat back. Keep that length as you bend your knees, plant the hands to the floor, and we'll step ourselves back into plank pose. Press the floor away from you, melt the heart, feel the collarbones widen, lift the ears up slightly, and then pull the hands and feet towards each other. Let's tap the right knee down. Inhale up. The left knee down. Inhale up. You can tap both knees down as you lower halfway or all the way. And then make your way through your vinyasa, either to the floor or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. So Ujjayi breathing keeps the body kind of centered on what's going on, or at least on itself, what's going on inside. And notice if there's any areas that need a little extra attention, maybe a softness through the backs of the shoulders. Let's take the heels, lift them up as we inhale, exhale, bend the knees, look forward, make your way to the front. Hands to the shins, lengthen flat back. Exhale, we'll fold forward. Pressing into the feet, we'll come up with a flat back unless that bothers you. Then you can roll up, arms overhead, palms together, looking up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Beautiful. One more time, release the hands, keep that heart lifted. All the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, pull forward. Hands to the shins, flat back. Hands to the floor, we'll step back again with your opposite leg this time, coming into plank pose. Lengthen the head forward, heels back. Tap the left knee down. Inhale, lift up. Tap the right knee down. Inhale, lift up. Let's try to tap the left hip down. Inhale, back up. The left hip down, or the other hip down, sorry, right. Come back up. And again, you'll lower either halfway or all the way. Inhale through your cobra, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Time 4 breaths, Ujjayi. Feel your hands connect. If you want, you can take a look at them, make sure they're set up the way you want them to be set up and not just landed. As you feel the upper arms kind of drawing up, 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 and back, Feel the underarms hollow, feel the tops of the thigh bones draw back. One last breath here. And then as we inhale, lift the heels up nice and high, bend the knees, create a little bit of, springy, and then spring forward. Hold. We'll lengthen into a flat back. And we'll notice if we fold forward, do we get any closer to our feet? Press down as we lift up, arms overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're doing one more Sane, heart up. Release the hand, exhale. Palms up, look up. Breathe in, exhale, fold forward. Hands to the shins as you come into your flat back. And then make your way, this time hands to the floor. You can hop, step, or make your way into chaturanga. Hold chaturanga. Hold. Hold, press up. Woo, downward dog. So you may want to drop the knees to the floor here. We're going to make sure our left hand is really grounded into the mat. Start to slide the right hand back. And we'll just slide it to the outside of that left leg, coming into a twist. Beautiful. Come back through center. Plant it. Both hands equally rooted, and then starting to put more weight into the right hand as we slide the left hand back. And then grab hold of the outside of the right leg as you twist. Beautiful. Coming back through center. We're going to lift up our heels, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, make your way to the front. And fold. Lengthen into your flat back. And then again, as we fold, do we come any lower down? Any difference in the sensation? Press down to the feet, we'll come up, arms overhead. And hands to the heart. We'll take an extra breath or two here, just finding our mountain poses again. Noticing that first flurry of activity and the pulsations or the energy that it created. And we'll start again. Inhale, look up, palms together. Exhale, fold forward. Lengthen into your flat back. And from your flat back, let's bend our knees, pull the shins back, and we'll make our way up and into Utkatasana. Beautiful. And feel here the upper arms kind of coming together in front of the hands, palms pressing together. Look up, reach the fingers away from the tailbone, pull the side ribs back. 2 more breaths here. So soften into something that you feel as if you're getting strong in here. You're not just holding yourself in this pose. This is a place that you are building strength. Exhale, fold. Hands to the shins as you come into your flat back. We're going to move through a vinyasa. So plant the hands. You can walk or hop back into chaturanga. Move through your upward dog or cobra. Downward dog. Take that right leg forward. We're going to make our way up into a lunge. Beautiful. Let's bring those palms together. See if you can feel again that envelopment of the arms, kind of drawing forward and up. And really working those hands together. Beautiful. One last breath here. And then exhale, fold back down. Plant the hands and move through a vinyasa. Take the left leg forward. Make your way up. Lunge. So one of the things you want to watch out for here in order to maintain this ability to breathe is the sensation of the backside of the body moving back a little bit. So we don't have that feeling of being cut off in the diaphragm. So pull the side ribs back a little bit for more breath. And then use it to breathe deeper. One last breath up here. And then both hands to the floor. And we're going to stay in our plank pose. Reach out through the crown of the head, melt the heart. We're going to press into both hands in our left leg and lift our right leg up. Hold for a breath. Bring that foot back down, side waist lifted, heart melts, collarbones wide, press into the hands of the right foot, lift the left leg up. Take a breath, and bring it down. Slowly lower all the way to the mat. We're going to take our arms wide and forward first, drop the forehead to the floor, and just do some circles with those shoulders. Up to the ears, up to the ceiling, back and around. Beautiful. And then plant your feet to the floor and press the pelvis down and start to roll yourself up into like this little baby cobra. Pull the hands back and reach the heart a little bit more forward. And see if this is doable to hold, that you can slide your hands back and reach the palms up. Almost like you're flying here, little flying yogis. You can stay like that or just keep lifting the arms up a little higher. Feel the outer arms lift up, collarbones wide. Hold here for 5, 4, 3. Keep pressing into the feet and the pelvis. 2, and last big deep inhale. And exhale. As you inhale again, we're going to lift the elbows up, plant the hands underneath the breast, curl the toes under, lift the knees up, and lengthen from heel through head. Now you can of course drop your knees down, but this is power hour. We're going to take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, push the floor away from you to lift up. Downward facing dog. Notice the breath as it moves through you. Listen to it. It's Ujjayi, you can hear it. Feel that strength in your arms starting to develop. Gonna lift our heels up nice and high. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, make your way to the front. And fold. Coming into your flat back, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees again. We'll sweep up through Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to the heart. Tadasana. Heart up into the hands, inhale, release the hands, take a moment. And once again, just coming into that strength, that power that you're building. So we have choices here. We can be depleted by the power that we're building in, or we can embrace it and go, yes, this is tiring, but man, am I feeling like a little bit stronger. So let's try to do that one. Bend your knees again, we'll sweep up Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the shins, flat back. Hands to the mat, bring yourself back through Vinyasa. Downward facing. Let's take our right leg up behind us. Reach it away from the fingers. Let the back of the neck reach towards the fingers as the heel reaches away. And then we're going to come forward into hanging plank. Now the collarbones are going to widen, so the heart's going to melt down as we lift that heel up a little higher. Hold here, or if you're feeling that you want to build up a little bit more arm strength, bend the elbows, touch the shin down, and then lift back up. You can do that a few times, 2, 3. Ooh, sweep that leg back up. And we'll take it forward towards the right thumb. Now let's make our way up into Warrior 1 classical stance. So right foot is forward, left foot out, kick the left heel to the midline-ish. Right arm wraps around, left arm comes forward. Now reach that left arm forward to glue that left heel down and keep that front knee bent as you reach the back of the heart back behind you. All the way up. Release that right hand from behind the left hip. And here we are in our classical Warrior 1 stance with that front knee bent. The hips trying to reach, or trying to face forward, inner thighs trying to reach back. Bend that front knee just a little bit more. Beautiful. Both hands back to the floor, moving through a vinyasa. Downward facing dog. All right, let's take that left leg now. Lift it up and back behind us. Reach it away from the fingers. Back of the neck long, reaching towards the fingers as the heel reaches away. Breathe, ujjayi breath that you're on top of. And then we're going to bring that leg forward, coming into hanging plank. Lift the knee up, lift the heel up, stay here, or bend the elbows, tap the shin down, and back up. 1, 2, and 3. Nice. Lift that leg all the way back up, and reach that foot all the way forward towards the left thumb. Right heel spins to the midline there, space between the legs. Wrap the left arm around to the right hip, reach that right arm forward, and press the hand forward to root that right heel into the floor. As we lift up, we feel the back of the heart being drawn back behind us, but that left knee staying bent. And then we can release that left arm, bring the palms together. Beautiful. 2 more breaths up here. Big, long ujjayi. And last breath. We'll release the hands back down to the floor. Leg comes back, and we're going to lower all the way down to the floor, and here we're going to stay. So let's slide the arms forward and the legs back. And you can inch the hips back and try to get the pelvis pressing into the floor. We're going to press the left hand into the mat and lift the left hand, right foot into the mat, and lift the right hand, left leg. Lift it up and hold. Back of the neck long. Hug the arm and leg towards the midline as you reach the finger and toe away from one another, and have the head or the back of the neck lengthening towards those fingers. Belly in. Exhale, come back down. We'll do the second side. And reach. Again, lengthen a little more. Make sure you know where your belly is. Exhale, back down. Let's move through 5 sets. Inhale, right and left leg, right arm, left leg. Exhale, down. Inhale, the other side. And down. So that's 1 set. 2. 3. 4. Let that head come down, forehead should touch, it'll let the neck relax. 4. Here's our last set. Beautiful, we're going to slide our hands back behind us, palms facing down. Again, pelvis pressing down. Imagine there's a string on your heart and it's starting to be pulled forward. And as the heart pulls forward, feel the tailbone reach back. And then maybe lifting the legs up here. Hold for 5. 4 again, notice where your belly is, and draw it in towards the spine, inner thighs, moving up and away from each other so the knees are staying close, but there's still lots of space in that low back. Excellent, slowly come back down and rest. And then this time we're going to press down through the feet, we'll lift our head and shoulders. We're going to take the arms up. Inhale, sweep the arms forward like you're swimming. And exhale, swim them back. Back of the neck long here, still belly in. Sweep the arms forward. Move as slow as you need to so that you can keep the arms from wavering. So we want to keep them, let's say, about 5 inches off the mat. Right from the back, all the way forward to the front. And back. And forward. 2 more. Back. And forward. And back. And forward. Hold here. If you want to lift up the legs, you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last big deep breath. And then take your hands back underneath the breast, loop the shoulders, and as slow as you can, as you press into the feet, roll yourself up. Open up those collarbones, lengthen through both the back of the neck and the front of the neck. And then feel the heart reaching a little bit more forward. Beautiful. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, if you want to come into child here for a second, feel free. Nice thing about dog is you can kind of wiggle around a little bit. You can move around your head. Again, be mindful of all those new sensations coming in, all those new pulsations of energy. And just imagine that you can streamline them by drawing everything from the floor up to the hips. As you exhale, you're rooting from the hips back down to the hands and the heels. Beautiful. Let's lift our heels up nice and high, bend the knees, look forward, make your way to the front. And fold. Bend your knees, sweep up, Uttanasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Tadasana. You can keep the heart lifted, but release the hands. Just take a moment here. Get yourself ground down through both sets of feet. I guess you only have one set of feet, if you know what I mean. Both sets of toes. All right, so the next one we're going to do, I would suggest you have your blocks ready at the front of your mat. Beautiful. We're going to bend our knees again as we come through Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the shins, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, take that length with you. Bend your knees, plant the hands, shoot the legs back if you're coming into Chaturanga, or walk back through and move through your vinyasa. Take that right leg, we'll lift it up and back behind us. Hold for an extra breath or two, reaching away, getting longer. And we're going to take that right leg forward towards the right thumb to make our way up into a lunge. Okay, from here, we're going to find our hands on those front blocks. So plant the hands to the blocks, take that left leg up. And try to lift that heel up. So feel the inner thighs spit back behind you. So I'll show you what that means. Spit back behind you through the legs. And feel that your heels line up as high as your hip, and your head is trying to get there too. So you can lift your arms up. See if you can do this without the work of your hands. We're relying so much on the weight of your hands. Maybe you can even take that right arm and reach it away from the left foot. Back of the neck long. And you can stay like this, or you can start to move. Elbow and knee together and reach. Elbow, knee together and reach away. 3, hug the hips towards each other. Make sure that even though this is hard work in the lower half of the body, the neck, the shoulders are comfortable, the gaze is soft. Beautiful. So now we're going to take the right hand onto the right block. We're going to spin that left hip up, and then feel the inner thigh spin it back to neutral. This is moving into that right buttocks. Lift up and spin back down. 3, 4, and 5. We're going to open it up, hold here, reach that heel back, put the weight more into the right hand, and see if you can start to take the weight out of the left hand, take it to the hip. Keep looking down on the floor for better balance. Reach out to that left heel. Belly in, belly coming towards the back side of the body. If you want here, you can also take that left arm and reach it up towards the sky. Now, for those that are really wanting to test their balance, as you keep reaching up through your left arm, you may be able to take, as you reach out to the left heel, that right hand to your heart. And then maybe both hands to your heart. If you've got both hands in your heart, regardless, you can keep them there, or we're going to move ourselves back and into a lunge or warrior 2. Here we are. Add a little arm work now. So we're going to bend the elbows. And keep the elbows, try to keep them up as high as the shoulders. And imagine they're reaching away from you. And then just drop the elbows down. And the fingers, sorry, hands down. Inhale, lift up. And down. 3. 4. And 5. Make sure that front knee is still tracking the center of that foot, coming back up. Squeeze the arms together. Open up. Elbows still high. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Good. Hold. Start to slowly release the hands, reach them out. Feel the muscles squeezing the arms now. Drop the left arm, reach the right arm up. Beautiful. And then let's take that right elbow or right shoulder to the left, right knee. So elbow or shoulder. Take the left arm either up towards the sky, so one arm through both hands, or you can imagine that left foot pressing down and the right arm reaching away from that. Breathe. So let's test our legs now, really work them towards each other. We're going to come back up. Ooh. Straighten that front leg and bend. If you want to add the arms, we'll take the arms up, straighten that front leg, and exhale, come back down. 3, 4. Really push the arms down. I really feel them work last time. Beautiful. Excellent. We're going to unplug that back heel as we spin ourselves back to the front. Beautiful. Exhale, both hands to the mat. Step back and through your vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Excellent. Let's move to the second side now. So the left leg's going to lift up. I'm going to sweep it all the way forward towards the left thumb. Make your way up into a lunge. Beautiful. Let's take those hands now to the front blocks. As we find our T position. And once you find a heel lifted, hug the hips towards each other, lengthen the head away from the sole of the foot. Breathe. Sides of the waist lift up. Collarbones widen. I'm going to have to move back so that I can reach my arm forward. So you can stay in this pose, straight pose. If you want a little bit more, start to release the weight out of that right hand, reach the left arm forward, right arm forward, sorry. And then take that down because it is the left hand, look at that. Reach the left arm forward. Elbow and knee come together, squeeze in. And reach away. 2. Again, if 5 seems undoable, take the time to do 1. Right? 3. 4. Last one. Beautiful. Stretch. We're going to take that left hand back down. Transfer the weight from the right hand back into the left. Take the right hand now to the hip. Exhale, spin that the right hip down and lift up. So you can keep your hand on your hip here. You can keep it on the block. I forgot we want to do this one first. 3. Inner thigh lifts that leg back up so that the hip is facing the floor. And then the glute of the left leg helps rotate it up. One last one. And then open that leg up, hold, soften through the standing leg. So if it feels I'm giving that hand to the hip. Beautiful. So if you see, balance is not the same on both sides, right? So if your balance is compromised on this side, keep looking down. You can reach that top arm up. If it works for you, again, start to take the weight out of the left hand and maybe bring that hand to your heart. Maybe both hands. Do you feel that work in that glute, that left glute? Wow. Then that knee will come back down, warrior two. And then as you make your way into warrior two, let's take those arms with us. So let's just turn the palms up and bring them down. 1, 2, 3. Keep that front knee tracking the center of that front foot. 4, pulling the legs towards each other. And 5. Beautiful. You're going to take those arms up. As we exhale, bend the elbows, pull the elbows down as far as they can go, bringing the shoulder blades together, elbows towards each other, and then release the arms, and then sweep them up again. 2. 3, try to keep the side ribs drawing back to the wall behind you, so they're not popping forward as we move through this. 4. Our last one. Beautiful. And then we're going to take either the left elbow or the left shoulder to the left knee. Either right arm is up, making one arm between two hands, or we're reaching it away from that back leg. You dry breath. Inhale all the way back up, that's the work. Unplug that back heel. Pardon? Oh yeah, let's come up. Exhale straight, come back into warrior two. Thank you, Nicole. See, it's lucky I had helpers today. 2, up and down. 3, 4, last one. Excellent. Unplug that back heel. Now we're back to the front. And we're going to find our way back to the floor. Once again, plank pose. Hold your plank. Lift the ears up, lift the sides of the ribs up, melt the heart, get the collarbones wide. Hold. We're going to press into the left hand, take the right arm, lift up. That's the Sukhasana. Now, if you need help, take that right foot forward. If not, you can keep them glued on top. Exhale, bring that hand back down, back into warrior. Jesus, plank pose. Up the other side. That's the Sukhasana. And here I got it, it's called plank pose. Here we are. Let's do one more set, open up to the right. Let's take that top arm over the head, lift the hips up high. Take one more breath up here, feeling the heart lift up. And then we can take that hand back down, back through plank, and we'll move to the second side. Arm up first. If you want a little bit more, take that arm over the head. Lift up the hips. Beautiful. Coming back down. And nice and slowly on the count of 5, we'll lower. 4, 3, 2, and all the way down to the mat. And let the head rest for a second. We're gonna go back into those back muscles and arm muscles a little bit. So walk the hips back. Feel the tops of the feet plant into the floor. Press the pelvis down, belly in, lift up. And let's start with our hands back behind us and make sure you've got all that space again for swimming. We'll do that same pose that we just did when we were in warrior two. We're gonna take the arms up, over the head, and then we'll pull the elbows back behind us, bring the shoulders together, and then you can release the arms as the heart comes forward. Reach the arms forward on the inhale. Exhale, squeeze the elbows and back together, arms straighten. And again, arms forward. 3, 4, and 5. Good, hold it up. You're gonna spin the palms up again. And here, if you want, as you press down through the pelvis and lengthen through the back of the neck, heart reaching forward, pulse the hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. And last set. Lift up a little higher, maybe lift the legs. Bend the elbows, plant the hands again. Loop the shoulders and roll yourself back and into cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a nice big inhale here. And superside out through the mouth. And feel all that work just kind of release off of you. It's done, it's over. The only thing left are the benefits. Keep breathing. How are we doing here? Excellent. Let's lift our heels up, bend our knees, look forward. See if you can hop right to seated. And then we're going to plant your feet. Okay, so you may want to have a tie for this. You don't need it, really. You can just do it like this. The tie, for some reason, just gives you a little bit more of this feeling that you can, I guess it's the pulling apart of the tie a little bit that keeps you balanced a little bit more. And if you do have a tie, I would recommend it. Plant your feet about hip width apart, start to roll down, one vertebrae at a time. Keep reaching the tie forward, and imagine someone's holding it. And you'll see that you roll yourself down just a little bit easier. You don't have that feeling so much of dropping to the floor. We're going to take the arms back over the head. We'll reach the legs straight. And then we're going to roll ourselves all the way back up. And let's see if we can loop the tie over the feet. Let's do it again. You can bend the knees or keep them straight this time if you want. A little bit of a difference. Reach the arms forward. Take the arms up over your head. Stretch. And then roll all the way back up. You can bring the tie around the feet. And this time coming into a forward fold. Beautiful. As we inhale and come back up, we'll release one more time to the mat. And then take the tie to the side as you bend your back knee and roll yourself over onto, well, I'm on my right side, so I'm gonna, but it doesn't matter, just if you're on the left side, just do the opposite. That front leg here is the one we're gonna be activating, so inner thigh work here. The idea is to imagine that the muscle in that inner thigh is hugging back to that thigh bone. Okay, the heel, if you lift the heel up just a little bit, you'll feel more of that activation. And then we're going to lift it up to the knee, or maybe even higher, and then back down. Keep that belly in. Inhale up, and down. Try not to let the foot come all the way to the floor. 3, and down. 4. Really keep lengthening it. So here we're trying to make our legs a little longer. 5. And then hover here. You're going to stretch the leg forward and back. 2. 3, belly still in. 4. And just one like that. And then bend that knee in. Stretch it out. Up. Down. Forward. Back. In. Out. Up. And down. Forward. Back. In. Out. I'm hoping that you're starting to feel like a lot of this. Forward. We've got 2 more sets. Excellent. Oops, sorry, forward and back. Okay, so let's lift it up now, hold. And let's do circles. 1, 2, belly in, 3, 4, 5, switch, 1. Now, if you're not feeling any kind of burn, you've got like thighs of steel. And reach, 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 feel it. Let it in, kind of soften everything and just be mindful of that work. You can even feel it. It's like, wow, that really is effective. And then draw that knee in, give it a hug. And just rest it like so. We can even roll over onto our backs here and come into a little thread the needle. Excellent. Let's move to the second side. Let's see if I can remember what I did on the first side. That's always my favorite part of all of these movements. So make sure you're sitting up tall, shoulders in the shoulder girdle. You've got length here, bellies in. We're going to really activate that inner thigh right away. Point the toes, lift the heel up ever so slightly. 5 of these. 1. Add the breath to it. See if you can lift the leg higher than the knee. Beautiful. And then forward. Four. Here's our last one. Reach. And then we're going to draw that knee into the chest. Reach it away. Lift it up. And down. And then forward. And back. In. Out. Up. Down. Forward. 3. So cool, hopefully you're starting to notice there's other areas that you're activating, like your oblique muscles, your glute muscles. I'm gonna do one last set, so here, draw it in, back out, and lift up, hold. And we can do some circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can switch. And then holding, feeling all that effort, and letting the effort be compartmentalized into that thigh, the rest of your body nice and relaxed. And then we're going to draw that knee in, roll over onto our backs. And you can make your way into a little thread the needle. You can also do whatever makes sense to you. You can just also roll around the legs a little bit. Beautiful. We're going to release that now and just kind of drop the legs, winch away with them a little bit. Okay. Bring your legs into a hip width apart position. And then we're just going to roll the low back to the floor. As that low back hits the floor, let's lift the legs just off the floor a little bit. And squeeze the knees together. Belly button is drawing down towards the floor. We're going to lift those legs up. Arms can stay lifted or you can release them to the floor. That's up to you. This is a little bit more challenging because it involves a little bit more work. We're going to take our right arm, left leg and reach them away from one another. And then we're going to touch them. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Hold it up. If you want to lift the head, go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and back down. Let's do the second side. Left arm, right leg. Reach away, and come back, touch. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Hold it. Lift up if you want, squeeze. And then release both hands to the knees. Just give yourself a little rock from side to side. Do one for the obliques now, taking your right or your hands back behind you. We're going to take our right shoulder towards the left knee as we spin. Inhale back. Left and up. Try to let the head relax into the hands here. You can release the other leg out forward. Just for me helps lift the body up. Keep going. So again, if you can rest your head here, and imagine again that the rest of the body, aside from the work that's being churned in your abdominals, the rest of the body's relaxed. The sweat that's coming up is okay. Do 2 more sets. It's 1 and 2. Good. Come back down. Drop the feet. Relax for a second. So let's make our way up into bridge pose. So feet about hip width apart. You can tickle the backs of your legs. We're going to start to lift the hips. You can pull the mat apart, rolling the shoulders under, press the back of the head into the floor. And then as you come up, start to squeeze your glutes. You can even take your hands and make sure that they're on. And try to keep that the glutes are squeezing in, not the thighs. So we'll build just our butt muscles. As we exhale, we're going to soften the inner groin down towards the floor. The inner thighs are going to feel as if they're drawing down to the floor and away from each other, like when we're standing, when the leg lifts up. And then as we come back up, squeeze the glutes. Feel the inner thighs stay low as the outer hips lift up high. Exhale, come back down. And 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Let's walk our feet as wide as the mat. Roll to the outside of the feet, and as long as this doesn't bother the knees, squeeze the legs back towards your butt, drop the hips. Inhale, squeeze up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful. Let's keep those legs wide, but we'll squeeze the knees together. Toes are facing forward now. Sole of the foot is on the floor. Keep the knees squeezing. Drop the hips down. 1. Squeeze up. 2. 3. 4. And 5. Beautiful. Let's walk our feet together. Keep lifting those hips up. Feel that? So feel that sensation that you're breathing in. Feel the tailbone reach long. Pull the shins back. Activate the sensations all throughout this area. Upper body completely relaxed. Beautiful. Squeeze the knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then slowly roll down one vertebrae at a time. Feel the weight of the body just sink down through those hips. Press the low back into the floor. And you can go one leg at a time or both. Draw the knees to the chest. Rock a little bit from side to side. Draw our right knee to the chest. You can stretch the left leg straight. And as the outer hips come towards each other, feel the right knee and left foot move away. See if you can feel yourself breathing, your belly breathing onto the right thigh. And then we'll switch sides. Again, as the hips come towards each other, the right foot, left knee reach away. Draw both knees to the chest now. We're going to open up those legs wide. And then squeeze them back together, coming into like a child's pose. You can hold on underneath the thighs here, open up the legs. And squeeze in. 3. And then if you want, you can end it with just a nice big wide stretch through the legs. Rest of the body nice and relaxed, lengthening from tailbone through head. You can also hold on to the outsides of the legs here, just stretching the legs wide. Bend the knees, drop the heels to the floor. And just windshield wiper a little bit from side to side. We're done, guys. So any movements now, just to help you come into a more relaxed bodily state. You can release your Ujjayi breathing now too. Start to slide the legs straight and release the arms. Make sure your arms are lower than your shoulders so your heart doesn't have to pump the blood any harder than it has to. And just notice the sensations or the feelings of a worked body. Almost as if the muscles sing to you. It's like, thank you, so nice. Notice how easy it is to relax here and breathe. Our bodies love movement. They love to be strengthened. There's just something, as long as they feel safe, they love to get strong. And here is how we know that, because when we relax, the sensation is not like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. It's, oh my God, I feel so great. So enjoy this and stay in your Shavasana for as long as you want. Enjoy this.